Good morning, class. It is November 28th, 2018. It is snowing outside right now where I am, and maybe where you are too? Hopefully not, because that stuff gets annoying very quickly. I was doing carts on Sunday night, and you feel embracive, like, bring it on, God. You call this a storm, like in Forrest Gump. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, hey, God, can you turn it off? That'd be great, thanks. So, it's chilly outside, but we're going to warm up with some tournament action today. We're going to go over the brackets that were released on Sunday for college sports, and it's going to be exciting. I've been doing this kind of bracket filling out for the last 4 years now. My U of I team got me interested, saw how well they were doing on social media, so I started following them and following along with the whole sport. So, we're going to get going. Been having some printer issues, so I can't fill it out by paper and show you guys. So I'm going to do a on-screen printout thing. Anyways, I'll just screen record myself filling out the bracket on Adobe Acrobat on the PDF. So, let's get class going today. Class is in session. You'll enjoy this one. So, you might be wondering to yourself, well, Professor, what are you talking about with brackets? Right now we're in the middle of, at the beginning really, of the basketball season. Conference play hasn't really started yet. We have the college football playoffs, and that's only 4 teams. That can't be a true bracket. Which, by the way, I will try to do a live reaction video or some sort of reaction video and prediction for the football playoff video later on when they're announced on Sunday, December 2nd. Yeah. Anyways, so you're wondering, what bracket are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about women's volleyball. I've been watching the sport for the last 4 years when U of I here had a decent run in 2014. And ever since then, I've been rooting for U of I and just watching along, rooting for the Big Ten. Big Ten has done pretty well in volleyball. Them and Stanford are pretty much like the SECs of the volleyball world. As SEC is to dominating college football, Big Ten is to dominating women's volleyball. So I've been following it for a while, still kind of learning some of the traditions and the regularities of it. I wanted to go over the bracket with you. So let me tell you a few differences. So there's 16 national seeds, and the top 4 host. Actually, no. They all 16 places host their tournament. So the differences between your regular men's basketball tournament March Madness bracket and the women's 64 seed. The differences between your regular March Madness bracket of 64 teams and women's volleyball bracket of 64 teams is the top 16 seeds are the national seeds, and they host the first 2 rounds. So, for the first 2 rounds, Stanford will be hosting at Stanford. Pretty easy explanation. So let me go through the top 16 seeds just to let you know who's hosting and who's kind of the big contenders to be looking out for. Number 1, Stanford. Number 2, Minnesota. Number 3, U of I, Illinois. Number 4, BYU. 5, Texas. 6, Wisconsin. 7, Nebraska. 8, Penn State. 9, Creighton, which is out in Nebraska, near Omaha. Number 10, Kentucky. Number 11, Southern California. Number 12, Pittsburgh. Number 13, UCF. Number 14, the other Milwaukee school. My brother goes to UW-Milwaukee, and Marquette is a big rival. And number 14 is Marquette. Number 15, Oregon, and number 16, Washington State Wazoo. Anyways, so those are the top 16 seeds. Those are going to be the teams to be watching out for, making the big splashes and hosting. So, let me get into the video here where I will be going over the tournament.
Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the bracket here. I already filled out a bit. I did it before. It was like 14 freaking minutes, guys. That was way too long to do. And the audio was garbage. So I'm going to be using my mic over here, my laptop over here, and you guys right here. Anyways, so let's make sure nothing's falling. Delicate desk. Let me put this down. Open bottle of water. Anyways, so we have up here in the corner Stanford taking on Duke. Alright, let me fill that in here. Jeez, I like to use caps for all this. Okay, yeah, we'll just go with what that is. I'm gonna have Stanford move on past Washington State, and Penn State move on. I believe Stanford played Penn State for a national championship a while ago. Let me quickly look that up. I know I should be doing this, but research helps. So let me get through a few more teams here. Texas and Michigan. That's a great football matchup, but this is going to be a fantastic volleyball matchup, and Texas will prevail. Volleyball championship. Yeah. Good thing Google doesn't know semantics. It just figures out what you're looking for and just reshuffles the words. UCF and BYU down here. Just gonna go pretty much with BYU being the higher seed. That'll just work out easier. Shuffling over here, so I have one big upset. That's Hawaii over Oregon. Oregon is a 15 national seed. Wait, hold on. Sorry here. Yeah, Hawaii is my one big upset I got going on. I mean, with women's sports in college, most of it's pretty much chalk. There's surprises here and there, which is great. So I got Hawaii Warriors upsetting Oregon to play Minnesota in the Sweet 16 round. But they'll be facing Minnesota, who is absolutely overpowering, and will just stomp them out. You have here, I'm looking up the championships now. Team titles. Yeah, wow, this is not great on a tablet here. Anyways, I'm sorry guys, it's going on too long here. Pretty boring. Alright, we have here Nebraska and Kentucky. As much as I don't like them, Nebraska is going to move on. I have a... Oh, wait, here we go. Okay, now I got the list. Sorry guys. A lot of my hatred for schools kind of stems from college football and basketball, and it'll foster itself. It'll find its way into these other college sports. Not the biggest fan of Nebraska football, so boo on Nebraska women's volleyball. It seems unfair, but that's kind of how I look at it. It's pretty childish, but meh. Um, what did I do there? Just gonna ignore that. Anyways, Wisconsin, USC. Gonna be hard for me to pick this one. To say USC. I don't like them, but there's just something I've been reading about them being a dark horse and having a pretty good, I think it was kill percentage in the game. Kill is a stat, by the way, guys, so don't think that they're actually murdering people. That'd be insane. Um, then you have the Battle of Illinois, and you got the Illini. Moving on. Alright, let's move on back to over here. So I'm looking it up, and I don't see Nebraska ever taking on... No, sorry. Penn State taking on Stanford in any final game. They did face in last year's consolation game for third place, and Penn State won. So there's going to be a rematch of that game, and Stanford will move on and say, haha, we have it over you finally. We have BYU taking on Texas. That should be a good game. BYU was a team that was going into the last weekend of rankings undefeated. And after the one loss, or yeah, they're going in undefeated until their last loss was between them and Stanford for being the first seed. And with BYU losing their last game, is like cements them as not the first seed. So I'm just looking here. BYU last played in a championship game in 2014 against Penn State. I believe it looks like they beat Texas, possibly, because they played in that tournament as well. Looking at 2008, Stanford played Penn State, by the way. But here, I'm just gonna go with Texas. It is just kind of a bit of a dark horse, I think. Even it's not that much of an upset if it's 5-4, to be honest. But that's just what I have. Nebraska, Minnesota, could be a great matchup. If I didn't say this already, the Big Ten women's volleyball is powerhouse, as is the SEC in college football. So it could be like a great matchup. It's like Florida versus LSU, and that was a good game, right? But I'm gonna go with Minnesota taking on the next round here. And then you got a nice game here with the Illini and USC. And what else would I pick? Who else would I pick but the Illini? So the final four here, and let me say that I know there's like a yellow dot hovering around the cursor. I've been trying to get rid of that, but it's just the software. I think you guys will understand. It'll be fine. Anyways, so you have the final four here: Stanford, Texas, Illini, and Minnesota. Almost too chalk, but not necessarily. So Stanford and Texas, looking in their history, they played each other in 2016 for the final, and Stanford won 3-1, as they will this time around again. Whoops. Gotta extend that one too. Illini versus Minnesota. Minnesota won the conference, and I'm guessing they also won the tournament. But this time, the Illini shall have their victory day. Yeah, so gonna get to the final here, and who else would I pick but Illinois here? There we go. Let me just change a few settings here. Yeah. Whoa, that's too bright. There we go. So, there you have it. I have the Illini winning the whole thing. And it's not that crazy of an idea, considering that looking at their history, back in 2011, they came second runner up, or they came in second place to UCLA, and their most recent Final Four visit was that actually. I thought that they it was another time. Anyways, so Illini are going to win the whole thing. That's going to be fantastic. So make sure you guys are watching.
All right, there you have it. It's going to be a big U of I year for the tournament. The Illini are going to be crashing in to USC, all the California teams, and just going to be sticking it to them. It's going to be fantastic. So I hope you watch. I'll provide down in the description some links to where to watch it, the full analysis that the NCAA website gives. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Maybe you'll learn something. Hopefully you'll watch. And don't watch just because of the girls in the shorts. It's all about the fun of the sport, the volleying back and forth. That's why I really got into it. In high school, I liked doing gym volleyball because, I mean, granted we all sucked, but it was fun to at least, do the volleying and the back and forth and all that skill set we tried to have. So, go watch the Women's College Volleyball Tournament this year. It starts on November 29th and goes through December 7th, I believe, or 8th. So, I hope that you watch. I hope you fill out your own bracket. Tell me who your Final Four is in the comments below. Who you think's going to win. Tell me a big upset you have. I got Hawaii over Oregon. That'll be pretty fun to see. So, go enjoy your day. Go take care of yourself. And thanks for watching. Hats off to you for watching. Class dismissed.